In this episode of An Engineer's Journey, I interviewed Jenn Crane. She studied mechanical engineering at Carnegie Mellon and now is a mechanical engineer manager at Raytheon. Hello, everyone. My name is Connor Dixon. I'm here with Jenn Crane, a mechanical engineer that went to Carnegie Mellon and now works at Raytheon. Jenn, what inspired you to become an engineer? And was there a specific moment in your life that you were like, this is the path I want to go down? And what sparked that inspiration?
Yeah, so actually, my moment of knowing this is the right path for me came really late in the game. Um, when I was in high school, I didn't really know anything about engineering. Back in 2007 is when I graduated. There were no STEM programs in school yet. And so I actually thought I wanted to be a math teacher. And when I was choosing my majors or deciding on a major, I was looking at majoring in education. And my parents knew that I liked math and physics and said, you know what, why don't you try mechanical engineering? And
Hmm.
if you don't like that, you can still be a math teacher with that degree. So that's what made me choose mechanical engineering. And I went through school. It was good. Like I said, I didn't really feel like that was my calling till much later. Um, I graduated school. I worked at two different companies before landing at Raytheon. And the aha moment for me was actually when I was starting to explore leadership roles as an engineer, because I'm really passionate about leadership. So I would say that was about 3 or 4 years ago that it really sunk in that this is what I want to do forever.
And you talked a little bit about your college and education, but what was your experiences like at Carnegie Mellon? Did you live in Pittsburgh, so you knew the area, or did you go from out of state there, or what was your experiences like going to university there?
No, Pittsburgh was completely new to me. I grew up in New Jersey and I had never lived outside of New Jersey prior to that. So it was definitely a challenge being in a new city that's really cold. I didn't have a car, so I had to walk everywhere. Um, and just being away from home, not having my mom's home cooked meals, having to make all new friends. And then on top of that, having really, really tough curriculum, and that pressure to do well because it's you're paying a lot of money to go to the university.
Hmm.
Um, so I know that all sounds kind of negative, but it really was challenging. But the positive thing is when you overcome all those challenges, it's such a rewarding feeling of accomplishment. To get very specific, my first semester, my GPA was horrible because I wasn't used to life being so hard. I'll say I had a 1.77 GPA that first semester. And by the end of the 4 years, I was getting at least 3.5 in my junior and senior years.
Hmm. And I've seen that for different jobs and for education, you've traveled around the US to different locations. Is that just because of jobs, or is there been an outside factor like I want to go see this part and it'd be cool to work here? What is your inspiration, or is it just because of jobs to travel?
It has been because of jobs. That's what it was for me. And now that I'm in Tucson, working at Raytheon, I love Tucson so much, so I actually want to stay here till I retire.
Mm. And what has been the biggest challenge for you? You said that moving away from your family in college was a big challenge. Has there been another challenge in your jobs that you've been in, or was that the biggest challenge, just transitioning away from living away from your family and being by yourself?
I think it's just like for me, maybe the biggest challenges were just the growing pains of going from a student to an adult that's not a student. Just knowing, how to manage your finances too, and making sure you don't work too hard, maintaining a good work-life balance. Um, yeah, just those things. And now I have two kids, so now I'm going through that challenge of being a mom of small children. I feel like in life, the challenges never really stop, they just change. And I think what is really important is your attitude, facing these challenges and ability to get um, like more of a superhuman as you go along.
And what sort of advice would you give to a high schooler or someone in college that was like you that was struggling at first in college? What advice would you give them to help them keep going and push on through the difficulty?
I would say like what worked for me is I had to always remember that I am like who I am. I knew that I was intelligent. I knew that I was funny. I knew that I, had talents and skills, even though they weren't reflected in my grades or in my, all of my experiences. So just kind of remembering who you are, where you came from, and who you want to be, um, is really important.
And what advice would you give to a high schooler looking at different colleges for engineering? Do you think there's certain requirements that a school should have? Is it certain clubs and programs? Is it professors? Is it the prestige of the school? What do you think the student should look for in a college?
So I think what matters, I think, if the university or the college is an accredited university, I think it'll be just fine. Like I work with kids or with people from all different kinds of universities. I even one of my superstar interns, who's now full time, she actually started her first 2 years at a community college and then went to her last 2 years in university. And despite that, she is the one that stands out the most in terms of her performance. Um, so, in terms of selecting a college, I don't really have any strong opinions there, but I would say that once you're in, what really helped me too was having a good study group, even if that's just a roommate who happens to be in all your classes. That was really convenient to just be able to say, "Hey, let's meet in the dining room and let's do this homework assignment together." You don't have to even put on shoes to meet up, and you can even stay up late into the night if you need to pull an all-nighter studying for a test together. So
Mhm. And how is your field of engineering and Raytheon changing with advancements in computer technology and manufacturing engineering and the role of AI?
it's actually, we're actually in my department doing a lot of research right now to see how AI can help make our processes easier. Um, like just processes like instead of having to click on 10 or more buttons to complete something, we can just be able to type into a bot like, hey, add this contract number to this document. Um, and also model based processes, like instead of us having to find a CAD model that the design engineers worked on, and then bring that model into our software, which is a structural analysis software. Just being able to type to that bot, like, hey, can you pull this bracket part number, blah, 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 and put it into ANSYS and start a random vibration analysis or something like that,
Mm.
which is actually quite exciting. So, one of my interns this past summer has a minor in artificial intelligence, And we're already considering him as he's going to be valuable when he comes on full time to join that team that's working on that stuff.
If you weren't an engineer, what do you think you'd be doing with free time as an extra career, or just something to spend your time doing? What do you think you'd be doing to pass the time?
Well, if I didn't become an engineer, I really feel that I still would enjoy being a teacher, and possibly running a school with really good values and just really quality education. Um, but I think that's so important, and I'm still passionate about that.
All right. Thank you, Jenn. Thank you, everyone, for watching. That'll be all for this episode. If you like this episode of An Engineer's Journey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment if I should do season 2, and comment any additional questions you'd like me to ask. That'll be all. Bye.